So even though I'm a journalist, I don't read the news because it's going to tell me things I already know and trigger the fuck out of me and make it impossible for me to do the work that I need to do to help us, create the new earth that we're going to be reincarnating into in this lifetime so that we can have world peace, right? So I do know, however, that there has been, people send me the news and then I'll go on Facebook and see the news. So I know what's happening, right? And there are bomb threats at Jewish community centers around the country and Jewish cemeteries being desecrated and a ban on, an entire religion and ethnicity. And, this devastating Islamophobia that didn't just start last week. It's Islamophobia started yesterday. No, it didn't. George Bush helped plant that shit 15 years ago. And I was calling George Bush a fascist, and I'm not gonna be oh, but I wish we had him now. No, that was real then, right? This isn't new. Yep. So I am sad to say that I wrote this poem in 2006, and it has never been more relevant. And that's how fucked up this shit is. This is called You Could Be Next. In November 2006, 6 Muslim Imam men were shuffled off an airplane when an ignorant passenger expressed concern. If she knew they were praying towards Mecca, would she still have remembered the terrorism of September 11th that plastered negative images of brown-skinned citizens in her head? And how come no one ever calls the county sheriff when the president says God bless or an Oscar winner thanks Jesus? Yes. Due to the shift in hate of the American psyche, Arabs and Muslims have had their hijab morphed to look like gun racks, the same way that Black Panther Defense was systematically media purchased and transgressed to look like black men on the offensive to kill, instead of a people hoping to end the psychological holocaust of their humanity. And I want to say, I understand the Muslim men, not because of my own experienced anti-Semitism, which has been vast and painful, but because despite my optimism, I've watched my people slaughtered for millennia. So my passport is always ready for any white supremacist plan for any minority extermination, and the new folks of color better get in line, because the old ones still haven't been paid reparations. And while black folk are lynched fruitless ghetto by gentrification, Arabs and Muslims suffer Hollywood manipulation. Every big budget action flick's got a turban speaking Arabic, hijacking anything with wheels, striking bomb threat deals. But did you know the government escorted the Bin Ladens back to Saudi Arabia on 9/11 because they're good buddies with George Bush? And did you ever ask your roommate at boarding school how many friends she watched die at the hands of American bombs that were supposed to save white Muslims in Bosnia? And did you ever envision a world without racial and ethnic scapegoats? Because there are movements to reinstate prayer in school. I was made to worship someone else's God as we looked at our flag with my hand on my heart during our nation's pledge, yet she reports their plans to the nearest airport security as suspicious activity. White men murder Emmett Till because he whistles at a white woman, when there are white men that whistle at black and Latino women every street corner in Manhattan. Stars plastered on my ancestors' shoulders, numbers tattooed on their arms, and there are scholars who say the Holocaust genocide never happened. PhDs who claim slavery ended in 1863, ignorant KKKans who think it'll never happen again, but we're escorting Muslims off the airplane, making the airport the new plantation where Massa is any white or assimilated racist that doesn't know that Arab is not synonymous with Muslim. Probably thinks that anti-Semitism is an old world thing in the past, like a friend recently told me to my Jewish face. Probably thinks that Brown v. Board and civil rights cleared up any American issues with race. We are always on someone's case. And we'll post their skin tones on wanted ads for extermination. We'll make them metaphorically pick cotton off some realistic plantation, and no one will have been paid reparations. So maybe you could be the new minority without the racism-proof vest. Maybe you could be this year's Muslim escorted off an airplane for giving praise to the Almighty. Maybe you could be the new victim to the colorless whitey. So if it's never been you, guess what? You could be next.
Yeah.